Hey everyone, Tony D and Little Joan here on a Piney podcast where I have to do this at the computer because there's all sorts of stuff announced today with regard to Memorial Day. Phil has a plan. It's a stupid plan, in my opinion. Here's what the restrictions are. The beaches along the Jersey Shore, and this is from NJ.com. The beaches along the Jersey Shore and lakes throughout New Jersey will be open with some restrictions. Beaches and lakefronts must limit the number of visitors given access so people can properly socially distance. Okay, maybe that's fair enough, I guess. But wait, I mean, if you consider the fact that people, you don't want people on top of each other, and you consider the fact that they're out in the sun in the heat where the virus dies, it's kind of stupid, but okay, let's say you're going to do that anyway. Families and households are allowed to cluster together, but otherwise people need to be 6 feet apart, the governor said. Brilliant plan there, Phil. How the hell are cops going to figure out who belongs together? How do you figure if I take my kids to the shore and they bring a few of their friends who clearly aren't in my family, maybe they're a different race, maybe they just don't look like me. Oh, but they're with me and I'm responsible for them. But then some cop is going to come up and say, well, those people don't belong with you. Actually, they do. They came down here with us. Or you're just going to have people, 20 of my friends, we go down to the beach and we just congregate together. Oh, we're a family. What are you going to do? Check our IDs to make sure we're all related? That doesn't make any sense. So in other words, you have a totally unenforceable rule that you're putting on the beach. So you can cluster together, but you have to stay 6 feet apart. Good luck. Good luck with that, Phil. The opening goes into effect May 22nd. I don't know why you're waiting, because first off, it's not even really that hot out. So, who the hell's going to go on the beach right now? The water's freezing. Freezing cold. Now this weekend, it's actually going to be pretty hot, so maybe you'd have people out on the beach, but come on. It's unbelievable. Organized games, contact sports, concerts, festivals, and fireworks are banned. Why are you banning fireworks? The fireworks don't spread the disease. They could certainly have fireworks, and people could watch them and stay 6 feet apart. I don't know why you would bother. So basically, the boardwalk's closed, is what you're saying. There's nothing to do except go to the beach. Continues. Local towns will decide how to limit access by measures like cutting back the number of beach tags on any given day. Yeah, because the beach tag system works so well. Wow. It's nothing better than be sitting on the beach and have some total stranger walk up to you and say, "Do you have your beach tags, please?" It's idiotic. So you're gonna have the beach tags, and they're gonna have to enforce social distancing and somehow figure out who belongs together. This is a recipe for disaster, because you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna get a couple of paranoid people who are gonna be on the beach, and then another cluster of people show up, and the first cluster of people are like, "You guys are a little close to us." "No, we're 6 feet." "No, you're not. That's more like 4 feet." "No, it's 6 feet. It's clearly 6 feet." "It's not 6 feet. Please move over." "You move over if you're so concerned." This is what you're setting up. So when finally a fight breaks out on the beach, you could go over there and you could arrest everybody and add the charge, well, you also didn't social distance properly. It says every beach will be required to establish capacity limitations, but will leave it to local leaders to determine the method that would be best for their community. How about none? How about not worrying about being in 80-degree weather where the virus dies in a matter of seconds? The chances of anybody getting sick in that environment is very slim. Nobody wants to get sick. They will social distance. Okay? These rules are unnecessary because what you get are a bunch of cops and beach tag people and whoever else is involved who then feel they have to enforce something somehow. Now, most cops, most beach tag people, most people are sensible people. When they hear these idiotic rules, they'll just be like, okay, we'll walk around. If anybody's being really ridiculous, we'll say something. Otherwise, we'll ignore everybody. That's what you get. You get law enforcement and all these people who are basically there doing nothing because the rules are unenforceable. And then you're going to get a tiny minority of those same people who attempt to enforce all the rules. And then they get pissed off because someone disrespects them or calls them names or kicks sand in their direction. And then you start arresting people. And unfairly. Because people are just trying to enjoy the beach. But Phil would like to micromanage it so you're safe. Because he's micromanaging it to the point where here's a bunch of rules. Now figure out how to enforce them. Oh, you got a town? Well, make sure you do all this stuff somehow. You probably know the best way. Yeah, I know the best way. Ignore those rules. Completely ignore them. Because you're going to be in 80-degree weather and it's going to be too hot for the virus. And by the time it drops to where the virus potentially could spread, people will be off the beach because it'll start to get cold. Because that's what happens on beaches. The sun goes down, it starts to get chilly, and people go in. Swimming will be allowed along the shore. Oh, great. Something to do. Though lifeguards will likely be spaced out rather than sitting 2 guards to a post. Oh, okay. Murphy also said bathrooms along the shore and in-state and county parks can reopen. Well, thank you. I didn't even know they were closed. Why would you even close them? Organized game, contact sports, concerts, festivals, and fireworks are banned. Rides and arcade games will remain closed. Okay, so the boardwalk's closed, but boardwalk restaurants can be open for takeout and delivery. Oh, good. Because we all know people love bringing food onto the beach. Something you're not allowed to do in New Jersey. For those of you who don't know. You're not allowed to bring food onto the beach in New Jersey. You're not supposed to. I think you can kind of bring your own. Sometimes. Depends on the beach. But most beaches don't even allow you to bring containers and stuff. So what are you going to do? The only thing open on the boardwalk is going to be restaurants open for takeout. So you're at the beach. There's nothing else to do but go swimming and be on the beach. Now, for some people, that's glorious because that's exactly what they want to do. But for people like me, I don't want to be on the beach. I go to the shore for the boardwalk. I did that when I was a kid. So if I was stuck there with my family, now I'm on the beach. A beach that you wanted, less crowded. But now there's nothing else to do but go to the beach, dummy. You have to give these people something to do. You've closed everything. Organized games, contact sports, concerts, festivals, and fireworks. Festivals don't have to close. You can have a festival and maintain social distancing. You can. You know, comic book conventions are a lot like festivals. They don't have to be inside. You could make them, they have to be outside. They could be outside on the boardwalk instead of inside a building. I mean, it would be hotter and it'd be windy, but, you know, it depends upon the festival. Like, I couldn't do comics at a festival outside. It's too much of a hassle with the wind, especially down the shore. But other people who are doing some other kind, I mean, a car show, why couldn't a car show happen? They're cars. They're not going to blow away. And people could walk around the cars. You just need a bigger area. You just need a bigger parking lot. You have the cars spread out. That's all there is to it. You have a limited capacity, just like the beach. You have to give people something else to do, Phil. This micromanaging is idiotic. And just to go over the stats, this is New Jersey TV News. New cases today, 1,200. So it's gone up a little. But, I mean, this was the pattern before. It went down, went back up, went down. But the general trend is still down. We're still way under 3,000, 2,000. Things are, and now we're down to 898 on ventilators. That's a significant drop. I think that's down from about 50. We have about 1,100 people in intensive care, and then a little under 4,000 hospitalization. That's down about 300. 336 discharges, so it's down by that much at least. But 171 hospitalizations, and yes, there have been more deaths, 244. Now those are probably nursing homes, unfortunately. But these restrictions are completely unenforceable, Phil. I mean, the best you could do is say, we're going to limit the capacity on the beaches as much as you could do that. And just, I don't know what you're going to do if people don't listen. I don't know what you're going to do. If people crowd to the beach, what are you going to do? Kick them off the beach? Are you going to rope off the entire Jersey shore and funnel people through a place where they get their hands stamped or something? I don't see how that could work. You can't control the beaches. Just tell people to social distance, okay? That's it. And I understand, okay, if you still believe that a concert is going to spread the disease or whatever, okay, I could almost grant you that. I think in the hot weather, you're relatively safe. I mean, are we going to have to do this forever? This is the summer, Phil. It's too hot for the virus to live in the heat. It's too hot in the sun. In the sun over, I'm not sure the temperature. I think it's over like 75 or 79. It's going to be in the 80s or more. In the sun. There's no way the virus can survive in that conditions. It would come out of your mouth and die instantly if someone was infected. That's assuming there's anybody infected still who is going to the beach. Now, there's a 2-week incubation period. That's possible. But if people are cognizant, they're social distancing, maybe they bring their mask in case they got to go through a place where it's a little crowded because, you got to control how many people are on the beach. So you got to funnel them through a line, which will bring them together, as opposed to just letting people do it. If you're going to let every town figure out what to do, just let every individual figure out what to do, Phil. What's the difference? You're going to have these pumped up town mayors going, well, I got to save everybody. I came up with a list of 40 rules that you have to obey before you can get on the beach. And then you're going to have guys who go, I don't care, just let people go to the damn beach. You're letting shower pavilions open and changing rooms and rest areas. I don't even know how you could properly sanitize them. Those places are gross down at the beach. They're too overused. What are you going to do? Have someone go in there and clean it every time somebody uses a stall? I don't think that's realistic. I mean, you're going to have massive lines at those things. You're going to have people going out into the ocean to pee and maybe even do other things. Implement proper sanitation. Well, no shit, Phil. No shit. What? Show me the town that doesn't implement proper sanitation. Oh, you had to tell us that? Thanks. Before that, we were animals. Before that, we were animals throwing our poo at each other. Thanks for telling us to implement proper sanitation. This is just going to be a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. I don't see how this is going to work. I think most people will ignore these. All this is going to do is going to create problems for anybody who attempts to enforce these. Have you ever looked at a crowded beach and you look down the beach? Can you tell how far apart the people are? There's no way. There's no way. If they're 6 feet apart exactly and you looked at it, you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell. Now, if you get up on the boardwalk and maybe you're looking down at them, maybe you can kind of see they're further apart, but I don't think you can by just looking down the beach. And that's what these people have to do, right? You're just opening the door to have people get fined and arrested. You're not gonna accomplish anything. You're not saving anybody with these rules. You're just ruining everybody's Memorial Day weekend with no fireworks. Thank you very much. I mean, what is there to do now? What is this? The 20s? You go down to the beach and then it gets dark. Everybody go home before, you have to break out a candle to get back to your hovel before you get back to your summer home. I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous. But Phil was determined to ruin summer and micromanage it into oblivion. So now you're going to have massive losses down the shore. So all these businesses can't open down the shore. That's millions. I mean, that was the whole point, Phil. You kept the beach open, but you closed the businesses. They're done. They're done. Summer's dead. Summer's dead. No one's going to make any money except for a few of the restaurants. And even those, I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm on the beach. I'm supposed to go get a pizza and bring it back? Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to work. Do you ever see the few beaches that have trash cans where you can bring food? Oh, yeah. They fill up super fast. And then, okay, so let's say you're at a beach where you can't bring the food on the beach. You're not allowed to. Oh, but the restaurants up on the boards have takeout. But you can't go into them to sit down and eat your food. Where are you supposed to take your food? I'll tell you where most people will take it. They're going to take it over to the bench at the boardwalk and they're going to eat over a trash can. Or they're going to eat standing up somewhere. And that always ends with someone with a plate of food. Whoops, a gust of wind comes by or the seagulls come by and a bunch of food ends up on the boardwalk and falls off and into the sand. Yeah, that's great. How about opening the restaurants and allowing them to put tables outside on the boardwalk? Since the boardwalk's closed anyway, why couldn't these... Look, you're closing these arcade games. That makes no sense. Some of these arcade games are nothing but a kiosk. It's a facade where you walk up and you throw baseballs at something, like the milk bottle game. How is that a problem? If the guy running the booth wears a mask and I guess he could sanitize the balls, he's got nothing else to do while he tries to lure people over there to waste their money. I mean, that could work. At least a couple of the games would be open, but you're closing you're closing miniature golf, right? You're closing all the actual arcades, the few that are left. Kiss those goodbye. You're closing all the rides. The rides, they could just spray them. They could disinfect them. They'd have to hire more people, but at least they'd be open. Now they're not going to make any money. Now the beaches are closed. Till when? Till King Phil decides, oh, I might grant you permission to ride the Ferris wheel at a future time if you're good, if you're healthy. And what are you going to do if you finally open it up and then the cases go up? You're going to close it back down in the middle of the summer? You're going to have riots on your hand. This is terrible. This is terrible mismanagement. And what happened to this cadre of people you hired, these CEOs and wonderful people who are going to figure all this stuff out? This is what you came up with, this vague plan of, you got to limit the people and social distance, but, you enforce that. You figure out how to do that. You could probably do it best. So could individuals, Phil. You don't need the cops or the beach tag idiots patrolling the beach going, hey, everybody, please, you got to move apart, please. Oh, we're together. Oh, well, okay. We're the same family. Oh, okay. What's he gonna do? Really? Really? Well, can I see some ID, sir? Can I see that you're gonna be like, F you. This is New Jersey, remember. Okay? You got to open it up, Phil. Look, it's either going to be hot and people will be all over the beach, or it'll be cold and no one will go anyway. It'll rain and no one will be on the beach anyway. So what difference does it make? If it's hot, people go to the beach. That's when they're safest for this. When it's cold, they're not as safe, but they don't go to the beach anyway. Who wants to go to the beach in the cold? Who wants to go to the beach in the rain? Not allowed to light fires on the beach in New Jersey, so go figure that. Can we have a fire, Phil? Can we have a bonfire like they do in California? Oh, no. This is a terrible plan. I mean, I'm glad you're opening the beaches at least, but this half-ass measure pleases no one. It doesn't please people who want the beaches open, and it doesn't please the people who want the beaches closed. All you've done is split the baby in half and said, see? See? I figured it out. Fair. But you've killed summer. Thanks for killing summer, Phil. I'm very upset. Joan's very upset. New Jersey's going to be very upset, Phil. And kiss re-election goodbye.